Today's honors geometry lesson is on section 10.2, surface area and volume. The objective is that students will be able to find the volume and surface area of prisms regardless of what shape their bases may be. So in the last lesson, we focused on rectangular prisms. Today we're going to focus on all types of prisms which are going to have different bases. Let's review the definition of the altitude. So the altitude, which is the height, is a perpendicular segment that connects both bases. And remember that a prism will be named according to the shape of its base. So the figure on the left is our rectangular prism that we talked about yesterday. The figure in the middle has pentagons as bases, so this is a pentagonal prism. And then the figure on the right has 6 sides for the bases, which makes it a hexagonal prism. To find the volume of any prism, we're going to take the area of the base times the height. So big B will always represent the area of the base. And this formula right here will change based on the shape of the base itself. The height will always represent the height of the figure. The height of the figure is going to connect the bases, and remember it's going to be perpendicular to those bases. So let's take a look at an example here. So here we have a triangular prism. And the reason I know this is remember that the lateral faces of any prism, if it is a right prism, must be rectangular. So if we look here, here's my rectangle, which means that this is the lateral face, which tells me that these two sides here are my bases. So this is a triangular prism. So now we're going to go ahead and insert the area formula for a triangle for big B. So the volume will be the area of the triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. Remember that's your formula for big B if you're trying to find area of a triangle, times the height of the figure. Okay, so let's not confuse that. So that's not the height of the base, that's going to be the height of the figure. So if we go ahead and insert our information, so we're going to take 1/2, remember the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. So 3 times 4. And h, which is the height of the figure. So remember the height of the figure, which is right here, is going to be perpendicular and it's going to connect the two bases. So in this case, the height of the figure is 2. So the volume of this triangular prism is going to be 1/2 of 3 times 4 times 2, which is 24, and 1/2 of 24 leaves us with 12. So our volume is 12 units cubed. To find the surface area of any prism, we can take 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter of the base times the height of the figure. So again, big B is going to represent the area formula for the base. P is going to represent the perimeter of the base. So we're going to add up all the sides of the base. And H, remember this H represents the height of the figure. So for our example here, we have a rectangular prism. So the first thing we want to do is always locate the base so we know what area formula we're going to use for the base. So here is our base, which happens to be a rectangle. So in this case, the surface area formula is going to be 2 times the area of the base, which is 2 times 3, plus the perimeter of the base times the height. So if we look at the perimeter, okay, so we add up all the sides, 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 gives us a perimeter of 10. And remember that little h represents the height of the figure. So the height is going to be the segment that connects the two bases. Okay, and it has to be perpendicular. So remember the other base is hiding out over here. So the height is 5. So if we go ahead and simplify our equation, so surface area is going to equal 2 times 2 times 3, which is 12, plus 10 times 5, which is 50. So the surface area of this rectangular prism is 62 units squared. This is the end of the video lesson for tonight. If you have any questions, watch the video for a second time. And if you still have questions, write down any of those clarification questions and please bring them to the next class.